first patients. Her first name was Minnie, and she was 105 years old. Can you imagine? 105. Her hair was as brown, without being colored, as I imagined it was when she was probably 35 years old. It was gorgeous. Minnie had COPD, which is a lung problem, and had already become rather unresponsive when I started taking care of her. My length of stay with her was 6 days. That's all I had her as a patient. But in those 6 days, I'd go to assess her or to sit with her sometimes for little bits of time and wonder, what was your life like? 105 years old. Nobody was ever there visiting her, so there was no one I could talk to. The nurses in the nursing home didn't know very much about her because she had been transferred to them from another facility, so they didn't really know a lot about her. I get a call from the facility that my Minnie was in, and they said, I think we need you to come. Minnie isn't doing very well. And oh, by the way, her family's here. And I thought, okay, I'll get ready to come. Ask the nurse, how is Minnie? She's doing about the same, and her family's in there. And I'm thinking, oh, please, Lord, give me the words. Just give me the words. And so I went in the room, and there sat her granddaughter and her great-granddaughter. And the great-granddaughter, or the granddaughter, looked to be about my age. And I thought, oh, okay. I introduced myself and told her that told them I'd been taking care of Minnie for the last 6 days, and that she had been comfortable, very comfortable throughout that time. But I'd like to examine her and see what's going on. And of course, they stepped out for me. And yes, I could see Minnie didn't have much longer to live. She was modeling the bluish discoloration coming up to her knees, but she was pretty comfortable. So I had them come back in, and as they were coming in, I said another little prayer. Now's the hard part. Her journey it's happening here. Their journey is just starting, and I'm going to need to be a part of that journey. And I said to her granddaughter, all these 6 days, the one thing I've always wondered, what was she like? What was she like as a grandma, as a great-grandma, or as a mom? What can you tell me about Minnie as a person? I see her now, but I want to know what she was like. And they started talking about Minnie. We laughed. They told some stories of things she did as a disciplinarian that just made me chuckle. They told tender stories about her. They told what they loved about her. It wouldn't change a thing, no matter what, how angry she'd get and the way she'd put a finger right in their face and they knew they were in trouble. It's kind of like that saying that goes, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. If grandma ain't happy, run. That was Minnie. And so got to a point where I looked over and I thought, this is getting close. So I said, one thing that I always wished that I could have done with one aunt of mine that I was just very, very attached to was to have a few minutes to tell her how I really felt about her. Because I believe that Minnie is hearing everything you're saying. It's registering with her and she's feeling the love. But would you each like to have a couple minutes to be with her? Which of course they did. So we all went out in the hall, and one at a time they came in and they told their stories to her, or whatever they had to say. And when I went back in, she had passed. So they were out in the hall waiting for me as I fixed up the last few things about her. And when I brought them back into the room, I said, I just want you to know the last things she heard was how much you loved her. She's passed. And the look on their faces was such joy. I'm going to be just like I was then, because I felt that moment changed my life. Changed my life as a hospice nurse, because I learned to trust myself, to trust my compassion, to trust my instincts, and to understand I didn't have to have all the answers. All I had to do was walk in the room and show compassion to another human being. I've been around a lot, I've seen a lot, and I love what we do. I love how we do it.